In today's world, the scale, scope, and speed at which application environments are changing is staggering. The places where a single business service is executed can span physical and virtual servers in an enterprise, and the underlying application components can be hosted at an MSP or even outsourced to cloud providers. The application can change while it's processing the transaction, making it a very complex landscape, leaving many IT organizations asking themselves, how can they ensure an exceptional end-user experience and guarantee service delivery? In our example use case today, our online ticketing service, Tixchange.com, just won a 12-week contract to sell tickets for the world tour of an insanely popular teenage boy band. But there are concerns that the data center infrastructure is capable of handling the extra traffic anticipated for this extremely popular concert. With the CA Application Performance Management and Capacity Management solutions working together to bring them predictive reliability, they have the right set of tools to determine the exact amount of capacity needed to handle the increased load. Let's see how this works. Here we see the CA APM application and transactional detail of all of our hosted environments. Today, we're interested in our Tixchange environment. So let's start off by checking the performance levels of our front-end web servers, so we can use that data to create our capacity planning models and determine if they can handle an increase in workload. Select Tixchange Web. Select Tixchange Web 1. As we dig into the APM data, we see operating system, build, make and model information, and we could see that the VM itself is relatively healthy with low utilization levels. Not too suspicious. But the host this VM lives on tells a different story. Using a combination of CA APM and the underlying system host level performance data, we can look at this multi-day interval from the past to see how our application has responded during peak demand times. And from this host utilization graph, we see that this server is quite stressed. And this stress level has a direct result on our VM's CPU wait times. It looks like approximately 20% of the time, our VM is waiting for additional CPU threads. This is not a good thing. And here's more evidence. Increased application demand and increased application response times. After a drop in business activity, we do see the host recover. So as we zoom out here, let's recap. The power of CA APM is showing us that in the past, increased application response times experienced by end users is a result of increased demand for the application, driving higher host CPU utilization and longer CPU processing power wait times for our web server. All great performance data that we'll use for our capacity planning models next. And the CA Predictive Reliability solution is intelligent enough to see this correlation as well, and rates it extremely high as we see here. So now we take the known scalability of the supporting infrastructure provided by CA Capacity Management, combined with the Tixchange application performance data that has been profiled and correlated, and we run models to predict the optimal sizing of the hosted environment in accordance with demand changes we expect from this global ticket sale. We need to answer 3 questions here. Will the current infrastructure support an increase in workload? If not, when will that infrastructure breach our utilization thresholds and impact service delivery? And what infrastructure upgrades can we make to guarantee service delivery and an exceptional end-user experience? We now have everything we need to move forward with our modeling exercise. To answer those previous questions, we use the CA Capacity Management solution that provides the ability to run what-if scenarios to predict the future impact of change on our application environment. And for our use case today, we need to know if the current infrastructure can support the expected 25% increase in demand week over week for this 12-week ticket sale. So let's run our model and see how our infrastructure will perform. Select Run. So according to our modeling results, we have a problem here. At week 8, our server exceeds 100% utilization and breaches our cautionary thresholds. Let's dive into more of the results. Select the Server and Network Utilization tab. Here's a visual representation for the model results showing the step up in utilization week over week. Because of the high utilization reached, CA's analytical modeling engine cannot finish the scenario beyond week 8. Let's select the Workload Response Time tab to see more. And this expected increase in demand has a negative impact on application response time for our end users. And the longer the response times, the greater the probability these fans will be sitting in the nosebleed sections of these concerts. So our expected 25% increase in demand week over week really pushes our infrastructure to the limit. We obviously cannot guarantee service delivery for this 12-week period with the current infrastructure installed. So what do? Well, we put in the optimally sized infrastructure recommended by the CA Capacity Management Solution prior to week 8 to get us comfortably through the rest of the 12-week ticket sale. Let's run an upgrade model now. Select Host Server Upgrade. Here we ran a model to upgrade the physical server hosting our web server VMs. Other models could recommend a new virtualization platform, converged infrastructure, or even a move to a cloud provider. So upgrading our host server at week 7 seems to definitely give us the results we are looking for. And these results are an optimal recommendation of infrastructure needed, so we are not overspending on too much hardware or introducing more risk by under-provisioning our environment. And we see here that the application response time is back to acceptable levels after our hardware upgrade, which I'm sure will make the fans of this popular boy band very happy. We now have a solid plan to report back to the business that our IT organization can guarantee service delivery during the 12-week ticket sale, even when there is an increase in application demand. So as we just saw, CA Predictive Reliability offers real benefits. By providing the ability to plan and support IT and business initiatives in a cost-effective manner, modeling based on real application performance data to mitigate risk and meet the needs of the business, and right-sizing IT environments, whether development, test, or production, for optimal IT operations. Visit us today and see how you can become more predictive with CA Predictive Reliability.